Wednesday, July 30th. This is the Lion Channel. I'm John. Day 90 of my manifesting journey. I said I would take a video of the new Tesla. There's my new Tesla 2026 Y. I didn't even know it was a 2026 until I was signing the paperwork. So, but that's pretty cool. And I was driving back in the 2026 tonight, and I was going up this hill. I was driving back from my daughter's voice class, and I had a flashback, and I wanted to talk about it in this video, because if you are watching this video and you're like in a state right now where you're just like looking for any glimmer of hope that things can change, okay, if you are frustrated, if you're angry, if you're just like feel helpless, any kind of negative emotion on the vibrational scale, okay, if you've watched Abraham Hicks, he talks about the vibrational scale. If you are in any of those emotions on the vibrational scale, it's just a state of consciousness, and I am going to explain to you why that is accurate, and it's only a state that can be changed. Because, like I said, I was driving back from my daughter's voice class, and we were driving up this hill, and I remember driving the car that we just traded in. It was a 2018 Ford Escape, and it had all kinds of issues with it, okay, especially in the wintertime. And so when you would go up hills in the wintertime, the car would like shake. Like sometimes I didn't even know if I was going to make it up the hill. And you would say, John, well, why didn't you just go get the car fixed? Or why wouldn't you just get a new car? And my answer to you is, we were behind on almost every single bill across the board. So we were basically like in like debt out the wazoo, okay? And there was basically like no extra money to do anything. Like getting an oil change was like, that was like a huge deal, all right? And so to take the car into the shop and think about what they might say and us not be able to pay for it, that would be a bigger issue than we already had. So we were just trying to just do the best we could, okay? Also, you would ask me, well, why wouldn't you just go get a new car? We tried that, and we went to, as I said, 2 bottom of the heap dealerships, okay? These are the dealerships that say bad credit, okay, we accept any kind of credit, everyone approved. We went to these places and we were denied, okay? We couldn't get any car on the lot. We were just trying to get it into something else, just anything, because we didn't know how far this car was going to make it, if it was going to break down the next day, okay? I was there. We were there. This is March, all right? And then on April 3rd, as I've said before, I was at the lowest point mentally of my life. I was hopeless. There was no hope. I was done trying. I was done with everything. And I started falling asleep in the wish fulfilled that night. I saw a video by Brendan Woods, and then I started watching Elmer O'Locker, and I just started falling asleep in the wish fulfilled. And the next thing you know, here we are at the end of July. This is less than 4 months later, and that's in my driveway, and that's in my driveway. 2 Teslas, 2 brand new Teslas. in less than 4 months. 4 months ago, we couldn't get a piece of crap. We couldn't get approved for anything. Now we have 2 brand new Teslas. The only thing that's changed, I'm in the same body. The only thing that's changed is I started falling asleep in the wish fulfilled, and I did it consistently every single night, and I haven't missed, and I will never miss. And you will never miss either if you start doing it, because once you start seeing this kind of stuff start happening, why would you? I was in my daughter's room last night. I was tucking her in, and she said to me, she's like, Dad, do I have to fall asleep in the wish fulfilled every night? I said, well, you don't have to, but that would be like, Santa's coming tomorrow, and he asked you what you wanted for Christmas tomorrow. And he said, if you tell me what you want, I'll bring it to you. But then if you don't, but all you have to do is tell him what you want by falling asleep in the wish fulfilled. But if you don't fall asleep in the wish fulfilled, that's like telling Santa Claus, you know what, Santa? I really don't feel like making that kind of decision. It's just like, I want you to do it for me. Just give me whatever you think that I want. And her face went, and I think I might have finally got through to her to, make sure she does it every single night moving forward. And hopefully I got through to maybe you, maybe a couple of you today or over the last week. When you're watching these law of assumption videos and you're going on and you're watching, I don't know, I've seen some other people like talk about the law of assumption, and there are some people who know what they're talking about as far as I'm concerned, but there are some people who really don't know what they're talking about. And the reason why I listened to David, and I kind of like I started listening to Brendan Woods and I liked him, okay? But he kept talking about the same manifestations over and over again. He kept talking about, like, he manifested, there was a credit card bill that he wound up paying. And like, that was like almost like his biggest manifestation. I'm like, that's cool, but I want to listen to somebody who actually has what I want, and they are who I want to be. And so I started listening to David because he has the cars, he has the house, he has the body, right? And he was in prison for 8.5 years, in solitary confinement. And he went through all that, and he swallowed it all, and then he spit it back out and made a whole new life for himself. So that's the kind of person that I want to learn from, okay? And I started making these videos. I didn't have this stuff. And the reason why I started making these videos was to prove to you from the bottom, because I don't know if anybody's ever done this. A lot of people talk about it works and this and that and the other thing, but I couldn't find any videos really proving that it worked. Like, I saw the final product with David, but I kind of had to have faith. With this, you don't have to have faith. I'm literally showing you that it works. So if you want to change your life, like, you just do what I've talked about, okay, over the last week. And what I'm going to do, I thought about this. Moving forward, I'm going to make a couple playlists. I think it's going to make it easier. And this idea came to me. I'm going to make a playlist of the steps that I talked about, but I'm going to make them in shorter videos and like right to the point. Where in these videos, I'm kind of all over the place, and I talk about the lion's den, and I talk about glitches, and I talk about manifestations. And it's like, if you just want one piece of that video and you're looking for the step, and that's all you want, This way, you'll just be able to click on one video and boom, it'll be short and right to the point. And that'll be it. And I'm going to do the same thing for the techniques. Like, I made a video before talking about my routine, but it's like a 45-minute video. And I feel like it would be a lot, it would be better. It would be better and easier for people to just digest maybe one technique at a time. And then, go into another technique. But the techniques, let me segue into Shadow Flare. Shadow Flare has been posting. He's been falling asleep in the wish fulfilled. He's in the lion's den. And he commented, and I commented back, Shadow Flare, but I'm not sure if the comment registered. It says there's a reply there, but there's been some issues with comments. But anyway, he basically said, like, he's been just consuming videos. He's been just all over the place, and like, one person will say one thing, and then another person will say another thing, and then this person, and then everyone has like the intent, right? You're watching these videos to change your life. You're looking for something, right? You're looking for almost like a magic, something that's going to like shift you in gear and tell you exactly what to do. But if you're listening to 5 different people talking about the same subject, and they're all talking about how 5 different things worked, then that's where you're just going to be totally confused. So what Shadow Flare said is he's just going to watch my videos, and he's going to focus in on those steps that I talked about, and that's it. He's just going to watch that. And that's what I would recommend for anyone who is out there watching this right now. Not everyone is going to resonate with me, and I understand that, okay? You might resonate with somebody out. You might resonate more with David. You might resonate more with Brendan Woods. He might be more your style. But my point is pick a lane and just stay in that lane. Otherwise, you're just moving back and forth, and you're doing a whole lot of something, but you're not going anywhere. You're just going to be spinning your wheels. So listen to what I'm saying. If you like me, stay here and just watch these videos, because I can tell you how to do it just like anybody else can tell you how to do it. David is just further ahead. He's just been practicing it for a lot longer than I have. Okay? That's it. I am moving towards where he is. He's just a little ahead of me because he's been doing it longer. But I can tell you how to manifest like he's telling you how to manifest. But you don't want to listen to too many people if you want to move forward. Okay? Back to Shadow Flare, Lion's Den, staying consistent. Kate, staying consistent. Brent, staying consistent. All right? And we would love to have you in the Lion's Den. The Lion's Den is basically just a small community right now. I'm looking to grow the community, hopefully, and have more and more people posting. And it's just there to help you stay consistent. Okay, if you make the decision right now and you say, you know what, this is it, I'm joining, screw it, and you post and you fall asleep in the wish fulfilled and you say, I love you, John, fell asleep in the wish fulfilled last night, I'll comment back, and then you just do it every single day. Okay, I help you stay non-negotiable, because if you wake up tomorrow or you're going to sleep tomorrow or tonight and like, I got to fall asleep in the wish fulfilled tonight because I got to post in the Lion's Den tomorrow and tell him that I fell asleep in the wish fulfilled, that might be that little piece of motivation where before you wouldn't have done it. You would have just fell asleep. But if that's in the back of your mind, that you're not only accountable to you, but somebody else and other people in the community, that might be the spark that you need. And that's all it is a spark. I posted these 2 Teslas on David's community back to back days. All right, and David posted today, he's like, you know, great job, I'm proud of you. A couple months ago, that would have I would have looked at that like, wow, David's talking to me. Now I'm just like, we're the same. Like, I'm on his level. And I just said, like, thank you, you were the spark that started the flame, okay? And that's all I'm trying to be for you. You're the flame, but I'm trying to ignite the spark for you, okay? And you're not going to need me in 2 months. You're not going to need to watch my video. I watched David's videos for the first 3 or 4 months. And now I'm just like kind of dialing it back because I don't really need to see. I don't really need to continue watching it. I just watch it once in a while. And it's going to be the same thing with you. It's like, digest, take all the information in now, digest it, and then start doing it and immerse yourself, and then you can lay back after a couple months. All right, so that's it for today. A little long-winded, but I'm just excited about, you know, when you really start to see the physical manifestations and the flowers start blooming, because that's what you're doing when you're falling asleep in the wish fulfilled. You're just planting seeds. And, you know, if you're turning around and you're looking every day, you know, you plant a seed and then you go and like dig it up the next day to like see if it started to do anything. You plant the seed and then you just water it. And so that's all you're doing every single night. When you're falling asleep in the wish fulfilled over and over and over again, you're just watering the seed. And then you start to see you start to see a little movement and the soil starts to break. And I don't know shit about gardening, but you know, it sounded good for a minute. And then the next thing you know, you have 2 Teslas in your driveway or whatever your wish fulfilled is. My wish fulfilled is not Teslas. My wish fulfilled is financial freedom. And it's basically becoming the person who is financially free. And I would say I'm becoming that person, okay? It works. All right, so that's it for today. A little all over the place, but it is what it is. I still feel like it was a good video and it could help you if you heard the message. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Day 91. I love you all and have a great night. Love the cicadas. Bye.